Good morning, friends. How are we doing today? So, this is day 4 of my Vlogmas experiment. It's going okay. So today I wanted to do like a little book thing with you. Just some books I've read and how I started the year and how I ended the year. So I had a goal this year to read 50 books. And I read 51 books, so woo! One more over my goal. I'm not done reading, it's only, December 14th, but right now I have reached my goal, and I wanted to show how I started that. So I read 51 books, like I said. I read lots of classics, I read romance, I read spicy books, fantasy books, literature books, contemporary books. I read all sorts of books because I love to read, and I don't really care what I read, honestly, as long as I'm reading. I read fan fiction, I read on my Kindle, I read regular books. I'm a reader, so I like to read. So let us start. So in January, I read 3 books. So we're going to start with what I read for the year and how I ended the year. So, this book, The Town and the City by Jack Kerouac, is the first book I read in 2025. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like it. I thought it was long and the narrators were a bit, I don't know, whiny, I guess. It's about this family and the lives and the things they go through over the years, moving from their farmhouse to the city eventually. And I didn't like it. I thought I would like it, but I did not like it. I thought it was too slow, and I almost DNF'd it, but I don't like to DNF books. Even if I don't like them, I should start doing that. Like, who cares? If you didn't like a book, you didn't like a book. But Jack Kerouac, Town and the City. I mean, it's old. It was written, when was this written? 1950. So 1950, that was 75 years ago. So yeah, so I didn't like it, which is okay. You don't have to like everything you read. So that was the first thing I read this year. The second book I read in January is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. She is a TikTok creator, and she made these little skits about this girl that goes to hell and helps the souls cross over or go where they need to go. I loved this book. Loved this book. It was so good. It was the characters. I loved all the characters in it and everything. So it's about this girl, Lily. She dies kind of young of cancer, and then she goes to heaven and goes to her ever after and whatever. But then she gets curious, so she goes downstairs to hell, I guess, and sees all these people and they're going to the afterlife. So she sets up a help desk, which is HELP, like help desk, to kind of get the souls where they need to go and everything. And she meets demons, and she meets other people, and she meets angels, and she meets all the other like deities and stuff for everybody's different afterlife. It is so good. I recommend it highly. It was my second book of the year, but it was my first 5-star of the year. So if you haven't, go pick up J.C. Lynn, For Whom the Bell Tolls. So good. So good. Loved it. And the third book I read for January is Gone with the Wind. So I read this in high school, I think. I had a copy a long time ago, and I lost it in one of my many moves over the years when I was a teenager. Everyone knows the story of Gone with the Wind. I read it, and obviously there are parts that The book does not age well, obviously, but it is a classic book, and I do like the book. I like the storyline. I don't like the people in it. A lot of them are awful, but I think it's an important story to read because it has a different viewpoint, because I'm from New York. I'm a northern girl, and this was written by a southern person with their own experiences and things that happened to them, or the southern experience, which, I don't understand, but, and the black people. It's Gone with the Wind. Everyone knows the story of Gone with the Wind, right? But I did read it, and I have a copy now that I got from this little independent bookshop that I found near my town called Never Ending Story. I went there because the bookshop is called Never Ending Story. The Never Ending Story bookstore. And as a millennial, just touched my heart. So, Gone with the Wind. It's massive. It's hard to read. It took me probably 3 weeks to read this book. It's a lot. It's a lot because a lot of it I was cringing, and I'm like, ooh, really? But it's Gone with the Wind. So there are some cringy parts, but there are also some good parts too. I'm not going to review Gone with the Wind because everybody knows the story of Gone with the Wind. So that was the start of my year. I read 2 classics and a contemporary. I don't really know how to classify Whom the Bell Tolls. It's romantic-y, kind of. It's got romance, it's got spice, but it's also got demons and angels. So, I guess fantasy, romance, whatever. Yeah. So that's how I started my year. I read 3 books, and I ended my year with reread of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I read these last year, I think, and I wanted to read them again, so I did. So Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo has some of my favorite tropes in it: found family and love, and there's no spice in it, and adventure, and I don't know. I know it's young adult, but it reads very well. And even if you're not a young adult, because you can read it and like it, because it's got everything, really. Protagonist, antagonist, and they go on this quest, not a quest, what do you call it? Crime? No. I don't know what it's called. It's like an adventure, but it's a crime too. I'll think of the word later, probably. And it's also found family, and they all seem to like each other, okay. But it's a excellent duology. I know all the book talkers and the booktube people read it, and so I was a little late to the game here, but I did read it last year, and then I read it again in December, and these are the last 2 books that I read so far. December's not over yet, so I might read more, but right now I'm kind of in my fan fiction era, which is still reading, by the way. So that is that. What else? Did I read anything else in December? Let me see. Oh, I did. I read this in December before I read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I read the Song of Achilles. No, not the Song of Achilles. Circe. I read Circe, which is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. So I started December with Circe and ended with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Circe was a very good book about this goddess, I guess, and as she goes through life, and her father is not a god, he's a titan. So the Titans and, you know, the gods in Greek mythology were fighting with each other. So she's the daughter of a Titan. And she's a strange little bird from the beginning of her life to the end of her life. Very good book. Goes into Greek mythology and other things. And if you're into that, great. I learned a lot of things from this book. So, Circe by Madeline Miller. She also wrote Song of Achilles, which I have not read yet, and I will probably read either starting next year or the end of this month. So that's what I did, and everything in between all of those books. Stephen King and Brandon Sanderson and some romance books, some spicy books, fantasy books, whatever. I read a lot of books. I might go through them and see if, because I don't have hard copies of all of them. A lot of them I read on my Kindle. So I will see if I have hard copies of them and maybe go through a list like that. That might be fun. Yeah. So I hope everyone has a great day, and thanks for watching if you did watch. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, for day 5. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.